This episode is brought to you by Amy. When clangers happen, lucky you're with Amy. Welcome back, everybody. It's the TFG Tuesday podcast, and a man of loyalty and integrity, our man Toby Greene, the skipper of the Giants. It takes a lot of plums to rock up after a tough loss, and that's exactly what he's done. Obviously, we're a little bit more delayed this week, recording late arvo on a Tuesday, just because of exit interviews and whatnot. So just off the top, though, Tobes, I just wanted to say a huge shout out to you, mate. I really respect you. I really appreciate you jumping on and probably doing it. You know, this would be the toughest time to talk about footy. So I just wanted to say thanks for jumping on, mate. And how are you going?
No, thank you, mate. I would have much rather been at training today, mate, and preparing for a semi-final, but not to be. And, you know, Hawks were better than us on the day, and a little bit of a weird game, I guess, in a sense. Certainly had our chances, but no, there's nothing worse than losing finals, mate. It's and then watching them the next few weeks, you just sort of replay, I guess, the game over in your head a fair bit, and you dwell on it as well for a couple of months before you sort of get back into it. So, it's bloody frustrating, mate. But got to give yourself a chance by getting there, but then you'd like to execute better than what we did.
Yeah, really well said. It must be tough watching. Just on watching, do you watch many games? I mean, there's a lot of players that, they'd love to watch. Some players can't even watch one moment. They switch right off. They leave the country. What does Toby Greene do when the season's over and there's still a few games on?
I've done a bit of both, everything you just sort of spoke about then. But, finals footy is amazing to watch, and it's sport at its best, I guess, and the emotions are really high, and that's what makes it so good. But you're certainly jealous and angry while you're watching it because you wish it was you. But, I'll tune in for most of them, I'd say, mate, and see who ends up making the granny. It's pretty wide open still. And then, grand final day, you're sort of always doing something.
It's certainly wide open, mate. We're going to break down your game, the other games, and all the games coming up, plus some NFL and a few others for everyone listening. But before we do, we're obviously presented here by Amy and Inglewood Coffee Roasters, and wouldn't be possible without our friend Statmate. This is for anyone here watching or listening that needs AFL player stats made easy. My advice to you is simple. Check out the Statmate app. It's free. Download it now at the App Store. Tobes, let's get straight into the GWS Giants versus Hawks review. I don't know where to start with this one, but it feels natural to start with the first quarter. There's a couple of, there's a cheap free kick. I thought someone flopped from memory, but it was a bit of a momentum shift, that one. They went up by a fair few kicks, and all of a sudden at home, you're behind by 3 or 4 goals. Talk to me about what that's like as the skipper of the Giants in that moment, even though, the game looked like it was kind of 50-50.
Yeah, it was, it was weird. First 10, 15 minutes, I'd say we had, probably the, fair bit of ball in our half and a lot of inside 50s and sort of owned the game in a way. But then we were down by 3 or 4 goals at the end of that sort of little period. I remember coming off probably halfway through the first and like, what are we doing? Well, we're playing all right. We're going all right. We're just not executing inside 50, and they're doing that exactly that. It might have been like 5 to 15 inside 50s to start the game, but we were on 3 points and maybe they were on 25 or something. So it was disappointing from that regard, and a little bit, I guess, of how the game sort of went from then as well. They probably executed better and were more potent going forward, and we certainly had a lot of chances to damage, but didn't do as what I guess we'd done as well all year. And so it was disappointing to sort of get done like that, and probably a little bit so there's a fair few things involved in that, but that was the general consensus as to probably why we got beaten.
We go through the game. It becomes an amazing game. If anyone missed it, you got to go check it out. If you're a Giants fan, the third quarter was Josh Kelly and the boys just executing, doing everything that you just spoke about that maybe didn't go their way in the Giants' way in the first quarter. But at 3-quarter time, you must have been feeling good. Like, you're down a kick. You've kicked 6 in like 7 minutes. You're playing, what we used to call like the Ferrari, the Giants. You're just moving the ball with ease. You're dominating play after they've To be honest, mate, I thought it was game over. I was at the Aces Clubhouse event at the Osborne with our man John O'Rourke. He goes, "It's over," and I said, "It's never over, mate." And all of a sudden, bang, 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 bang! It's 6 points, and I'm going wild. So's all the Giants fans, the Hawks fans in the building. They're starting to stress. It's just a crazy game, AFL. But at 3/4 time, what happened in the address? What are you talking about? What did you get right? What was it? Because it was some special football there for about 10 minutes.
Well, pressure and sort of desperation certainly lifted. Able to execute going inside 50, one contest ahead of the ball, which is something we probably didn't do as well for the rest of the game, and one contest behind the ball. So that was pretty much why we were able to do it. And then, kicked an early one in the last, and then it's even. And the first half was like up and down, like frenetic footy, like really high intensity. So felt like the game was always going to open up, and that third quarter, it was hard, much harder to defend because of how intense and tired everyone was, and then Chook was able to come on and make a huge impact. And then the last quarter was probably who took their chances really, and they did and we didn't. So that was it was bloody annoying to lose in that manner, given we'd done all this hard work to get back into it, but. Hawks are a bloody good team, and they were able to make the most of it.
I'm just trying to get the stats up so I don't make a mistake, but you probably know them. The inside 50 count, I don't remember a time a team's had that many and lost, and a game where both teams have had that many. Just, I didn't know the football could go up and down so much. Is it the highest inside 50 count you've ever seen?
I wouldn't know. I think it was our highest for the year, which... We'd sort of lost a lot of inside 50 counts this year, but we've been really potent going forward. So it's kind of the opposite to what we've been like all year. But you'd like to think if you have 74 or whatever
72, 56, it's a lot.
Yeah, so if you have 72, you'd like to think you're kicking 120 points. But as I said, like inside 50 decisions, taking our chances, we just didn't get right.
What do you put that down to, Tobes? Like I'm looking at your disposal efficiency, 68%, pretty high. They were 72. Goal efficiency was 18%. They were 28%. It's probably the game right there for anyone out there. But 13 goals from 72 inside 50s. If you reflect, what was it with blokes not lowering their eyes? Were they bombing it? Were they just missing easy shots? Like, have you got a little bit of a grasp on what was happening inside 50? Because the blokes that are in there normally finish.
Yeah, it was all of that stuff, mate. There's also a lot of you got to win contests as well and make up goals, which, we got players that usually do that, and myself being one, but wasn't really able to do it on the day. So that was a big reason. And also their backs were, they were really good on the day. We were inefficient with their kicking going inside 50. And then, they kicked a lot of goals. Like they really took their chances, and we weren't as potent. So that it was a combination of all those things.
I want to talk about Hawthorn for a second because I think it's good that you mentioned it. We some probably a little bit one-sided here, talking more Giants, but Blake Hardwick's a man that I feel is starting to get a bit of love in the media. You watch him play, he can go forward and he does not miss when he has a set shot. When he plays back, he's really solid. Blokes like him, who else stood out for you that you go, wow, I'd love to play with this guy?
And Joy Newcomb's obviously a bull inside. He was pretty solid on the day. Jack Ginnivan was, he just took his chances, and it was, he kicked three really good goals. So their backs were pretty solid as well. As a forward line, we probably got beaten across the ground. So which is disappointing for us, and you're pissed off, I guess, for the next couple of months about it. But footy can be like that. But you want to, when you get to those positions, you want to execute.
Going into the game, Tobes, if you can share, I don't know if you can, but what was the game plan against these Hawks team? I find them so hard to predict. At the start of the year, I had Hawks versus Giants in the grand final, so I was pretty flat when you had to play each other because I knew my prediction couldn't happen, but more so that they're a very good side. They shouldn't have been 8th. What is it with the Hawks? How do you stop them? And, what is it that they do so well? And if, what's the Adelaide Crows need to do to stop them?
Well, they sort of got two different ways of moving the ball, like either going around and they set up a big U shape behind the ball, or if you try and take away the switch and that sort of ball movement, then they'll try and access corridor. Very strong midfield team. And then, as we saw, their forwards are damaging and kick goals and really make the most of their chances. So they are a good team. I knew it was going to be a tough game. You always thought it'd be a 50-50, but as I said, when you get in that position and execute on most things, not most things, but we certainly gave ourselves a chance by having 72 inside 50s, but would have liked to have been much better with them.
I think when you walk off a footy field, it's always going to hurt when you lose, especially a final. But you must be proud of the group. Like, it wasn't like you lost and you walk off and you're like, there's no effort. Like, half the blokes weren't switched on. Like, there was great effort, and you don't get 75 inside 50s without that. So you must be quite proud of the group still. As much as it hurts to lose, you must be going, we've got enough here to come back. Yeah,
I mean, I'd never question any of that with any of the boys. I reckon we're sort of always hold your head pretty high and know that you're giving it a crack. It's probably just the little finer details, that things we need to get better at over pre-season. And I mean, you really want your young group, just that new group coming through, to bring everyone up with them, and really that's where you get your improvement. So that's what we want. But I don't like thinking about pre-season yet, mate. I need a month or two to get my head around it.
We're not talking about pre-season. It's all about the spring carnival now for you.
Yeah.
But no, we're not talking about doing running sessions and all that. No. It was more just your thoughts as captain, whether you've already addressed them. But while people are listening to the TFG Tuesday podcast, what would have you said to the boys in the locker room? That's what I was kind of asking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, super proud. I mean, like, to win 16 games as well, you'd say it's a good in-season. Usually that would definitely be top four, but percentage cost us. And then, but then once you get to finals, it's a whole new ball game, and just some system details, some little basic fundamentals and things we probably haven't been elite at all year, sort of came like back to bite us a little bit, I guess. But in terms of effort and energy and everyone buying in and, wanting to get somewhere, I would never question this group or anyone in it.
I want to talk midfield balance, right? And this is just me being, my own footy brain. It feels like the Giants, we go head-to-head in the midfield. So I'll look at the disposal getters, and I reckon Geelong do it as well. So I'm not saying it's the wrong way to do it, but we used to tag, like, Toby Bedford would tag, and now it's kind of like we'll just back our system in. Newcomb 32, Tom Greene 34, Callaghan 34, Nash 24, like a lot of mids getting ball, the main one being Newcomb. Do you feel like you need to have a negator in there for their, I call it their midfield one? Or you're happy with that going head-to-head?
Oh, I think there's some players in the competition you got to tag, I reckon. You see what Geelong are doing. They're rolling 3 out at the moment, which is really interesting. But for me personally, I reckon there's a couple of players in the comp you just got to sit on. Like, otherwise, if you're allowed to sort of run around and do what you want, and you're one of those guys, you run the risk. Yeah.
So, do you think if you played the Hawks again, you'd tag Newcomb?
Don't think so, but like Finno was pretty good.
Mate, everyone was good, by the way. That's what I'm saying. It's like those three combined had 100 between them.
Yeah. No, I was thinking more like a Nick Dacos, Bontempelli, Isaac Heaney, those sort of,
So top three in the competition you're tagging, but everyone else you're happy to go head-to-head, midfield v midfield.
Well, I think our midfield is going to get better and stronger as well next year. Like, Finn and Green are obviously two of the best young mids in the comp. They're only going to be better next year as well. So you'd like, and they sort of complement each other really well. But so probably it's always a discussion and something. Well, it's not my decision either.
You're not the
I'm
coach.
Just thinking if I was a coach, I reckon I would potentially roll it out at times against some of those players that just can carve you.
Speaking about players, we'll talk about Josh Kelly in a second. I just want to jump to our man, Darcy Jones. How's he going, mate? Oh, it's just heartbreaking seeing someone like him go down. This is his second ACL. He's such a good bloke. How's he going, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty positive young man. And he sort of knows what he's in for, and his knees, he reckons it feels really good at the moment. It's not too swollen, so he's getting surgery tomorrow. So I hope, and he was recovered pretty quick last year. So last time he did it, so we're pretty hopeful that he can play probably the back half of next year. But yeah, I was just after the game, it's just when you know that, and then boys got told that he's probably done it, you're just flat as, and nothing worse in the change room. So when you lose, and then one of your best young players has done his ACL, is pretty flattening. But him personally, he's a very positive young man, and he's pretty keen to make a big impact second half of the year.
Looking forward to seeing him recover. And Jonesy, if you're listening, mate, we love you. I hope you're going all right. Bloody stiff. Well, one more from the game. I thought Josh Kelly was the super sub. I don't think I've seen an impact like it. 14 disposals, 2 goals. It's just that moment, Tobes. Like, you must have been up and about. Like, there's one moment that you can smile at. It's the last 10 minutes of the third quarter. What was going on in your head when you were seeing this? Because I don't think I've seen that many goals that quickly.
Yeah, it got to maybe we were 4 goals down. I'm like, all right, we're a chance now. We can get them in the last. And then it was 4 minutes to go, and we kicked another 4. It's like, or another 3. It was a very dominant 10 minutes of footy, but the boys are up and about for sure going into 3/4 time, and your energy's right up, and you're thinking, all right, we're game on now. It's 1 goal of difference. So it's rare. It's rare that I guess it sort of happened to us last year in a final. Same sort of thing, really. But Brisbane ended up getting it done. So it was a really pretty incredible 10 minutes of footy. But it would have been nice to finish it off.
Well, we wouldn't be here without our friends Amy. If you've got a clanger, make sure you send it in, and you will be going in for the chance to share in $100,000 at afl.com.au/Amy Clangers for good. Tobes, I hate to ask you, but Amy Clangers, it's the last one of the year of playing. Is there anything in the game that stood out as an Amy Clanger for you?
Oh, mate, well, I missed a set shot to put us up in the last, so it's something you don't forget too quickly. You mull on that one for a while, mate. So that was definitely a clanger, and had a few other chances throughout the game that didn't take. It's nothing worse, mate, when you go into a off season knowing that that's what you've done. It just takes a couple of months to get over that.
Well, mate, if you want to feel any better about yourself, I dropped a mark in a prelim with 10 minutes to go, and everyone still rips me on social media. It's been 10 years. So, mate, yours is fine. You weren't the only one out there. Just on that, though, like your brain, how it feels right now, the way you're reflecting, it's all normal, all that kind of stuff. But, for anyone out there that hasn't been in that position, why is it that you'll continue to think about that for at least another month or 2?
Well, you're probably watching footy, and then you start thinking about yourself and your game and your moments that you didn't do well. So that's why, I guess. And I guess if it happens this week and we're playing someone, you move on. You don't care. Get ready for next week. But when you're done for 6 months, the next month you think about it a fair bit.
Really well said, and just broken down there. Well, my advice to you, mate, is you wouldn't be in the position you are without yourself. So don't beat yourself up over a moment. And, thinking of my moment I've had previously, it's a 4-quarter game. And a lot of people think about the last moments, but it's the moments at the start, the middle and the end. So do not beat yourself up at all. You've been enormous. Your season's been a cracker. You wouldn't have been in the position you were without you. So you'll move on very quickly, mate. You'll move on very quickly. Well, look, it was a wild weekend of footy. We'll talk about the other games quickly. I went 0 from 4 in my tipping. I tipped my heart out. I thought the Crows would get it done. I thought the Giants would get it done. I thought Freo would get it done. And I thought Brisbane would get it done, Tobe. So I don't know whether I cursed through or not, but I cannot predict AFL at the moment. It's so even. It's so good for the fans. It's just wild. So I thought Let's have some fun with this week's games. And who wins? Who do you think wins? Just a quick tip. I know you don't want to talk too much more footy. We'll talk a few other things. But Hawks now taking on the Crows in Adelaide. Who do you think wins that?
Hawks.
And why?
Well, I reckon they're pretty strong across the park. I reckon no Adelaide, no Rankin, a lot of pressure on them this week. I mean, Rankin without Adelaide, they'll be under the pump this week. Hawks, they won't mind travelling over there, and it'll be a close game. I mean, it'll be a good game of footy, but yeah, I reckon the Hawks are pretty sharp.
And then we go to the other game. It's the Q Clash. It's probably the wildest Q Clash of all time. The Suns going up against the Lions at the Gabba, but their fans will be able to travel. I reckon they can get them in the building. They might get 5,000 in there. They go in pretty healthy, and they get to play the Lions without the Brownlow medalist king, Lachie Neale. There's a few others out there that won't be playing. I think back to last year, no Danaher. Obviously, he hasn't been there all year, but the very different Lions outfit. Can you see the Suns upsetting them and winning 2 finals?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Are they favourites? Who's I don't know. I almost say Gold Coast probably should win. Lions are a little bit underdone, and if Gold Coast can come back and regroup and recenter, and I reckon they will win. And
Adelaide are $1.80, Hawthorn $2, Brisbane $1.57, and Gold Coast $2.40. So Hawthorn and Gold Coast are the roughies.
Yeah,
Underdogs.
I reckon they both can get it done.
Well, mate, I won't give you my tips on football because I have got no idea. Just on their last week's game, heartbreaking weekend for me, mate. We'll talk about the NFL in a second, but I thought when the Giants went down, I was flat as flat as it gets, as you were. And then we go to Fremantle, and did you catch the last bit of that? You probably the last thing you wanted to see, but did you get your phone up for the last minute?
I saw the last quarter. Yeah, it's pretty epic game of footy. Crazy.
What about Dave Swallow having that moment? Like, you've been at the Giants for how many years? You've been at the Giants for now?
14.
How many finals have you played in? You reckon?
I don't know. 14 to 20, I don't know, 15, 20, something, 15.
For that man not to have a final or a finals win and then to have the ball at the end, like, how did you feel in that moment?
Yeah, it was pretty. He's a good man, Dave Swallow, so I was happy for him. It was a bit of a fairy tale, wasn't it?
You couldn't script it, man. You couldn't script it.
That doesn't happen in sport too often, so good on him. And yeah, I think the Suns are every chance to make a granny if their midfield's. As I said last week, it's the best in the comp.
They're unstoppable. Their mids, and they certainly got it done again. Well, heartbreak for the train, heartbreak, just a double header. But I tell you what, we did have, mate. We had a lot of fun at the Osborne. And a huge shout out to you again, signing the jersey and sending it in. I don't know if you caught any footage, but we got our man Jevy to dress up as you and us to dress up as the Wiz and got the boys out and they had a little skull off and we said whoever skulls and wins will win the game. I think, Toby Greene got it done. So, mate, you'd be happy with Jev's effort there.
Yeah, sorry, I let him down there.
But it was a really good day, mate. So thanks for sending that jersey. We had someone win that one and they were very happy with themselves. Well, we're kind of losers all round, mate. The Detroit Lions got smacked and the Ravens, it's the worst loss in history in terms of data. Like when I say the worst, I don't think it's ever happened before. Did you get any NFL in as well?
I saw a bit of that game, yeah. I didn't see the Detroit one. I saw. You cost yourself. That cost you, didn't it?
It cost me and everything. It just, most of all the season, I want them to, obviously they're Super Bowl favourites, but we just needed to beat the Bills, man. They smacked us last year in a game in a final, and we did everything that we didn't do in that final. We pounded the rock. We were up, we were leading. We had the ball with 3 or 4 minutes to go, up 15. Like, it's just the perfect position to be in. If you told me that before the game, I'd say that's exactly what I want. And geez, I've never seen a turnaround like it. Mate, I haven't seen a turnaround like it. It was just sickening, and it was, maybe the last leg of the points bet multi I had as well, mate, was the Ravens to win. So I was carrying on like a pork chop there, but I've moved on. You got to move on in life. And that's exactly what I've done. But yeah, mate, big week. So the big reveal last night, big Shaq. I finally can talk to you about that one. Couldn't talk to you about that one. It had to be a secret. We got that one out last night. So did you catch that little hype clip that the Roland boys did?
Yeah, I'll look forward to that, mate. How was big the Shack attack?
He's an intimidating man, Tobes. He's an intimidating man. It was great fun. It was I only had 30 minutes, so you're on the clock. You're trying to get. I was looking down a bit, like I've watched my own work, but I don't normally, take notes. But with that one, I only had 30 minutes. I wanted to ask elite questions. I wanted to touch on footy, not footy, but basketball, NFL. His involvement with his company Reebok and how he's the president of the basketball. I want to talk about business, Diesel, the Shaq, the DJ. I wanted to talk about all that business, and then all these quick fire questions, getting them all in 30 minutes with a crowd of 50 watching, mate. It's nerve-wracking stuff.
Yeah, right. Only 30 minutes. That's short and sharp.
It was sharp, but you'll like the TV commercial coming up soon, Tobes. We're going to have that one, I think, next week. So it'll be on you when you're watching ESPN. You'll see the train running around with a big Shaq. I don't say much, but I haven't seen it yet, but it should be fun. So we're going to break that one down as well, mate. Yeah. I've just got breaking news. Lockie Keefe has retired. Is that true? And that's sad news.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was with him today in the change rooms, and he told me, flattening for King Keefe. We're really close with them as their family, and I think their plan is to stay in Sydney next year anyway. So sort of look at potentially what footy's life after footy, and he's a smart man though, Keefe. I'm certainly thinking he'll head down the finance path. But yeah, he's no one will have a bad word to say about him, mate. He's been unbelievable for us, and all the young boys really admire him and get along with him really well. And you need guys like that at footy clubs who really keep the standards high, because that's exactly what he does.
Really well said. And Keefe, all the best, mate. Congratulations on an amazing year. Geez, the man that's I'll never forget his final series last year, Tobes, against the Swans early. It was enormous. He didn't get many looks at the the prone during the year. Obviously plays in the twos all year and waits for the call up. But when his name's called, he always plays his heart out and plays so well. And that was the game that I'm sure he remembers. So, Keefe, congratulations. One more on a retired Giant, but there's talk that Wardy might have. There's a lot of Victorian clubs with their their eyes on Wardy for a crucial role off field. Have you spoken to Wardy about what he's doing next year?
Yeah, he's just working it out. He'll be in Melbourne, so he wants to be a firefighter, I think, long term, but that's not maybe till August or October or something, maybe next year. So. He's just working out what he does next year. But you want good people at your footy clubs, and that's why he'll have, all those Melbourne clubs sort of giving him a call, I'm sure. So he's got busy, 3 kids back in Melbourne, and sad for the Giants losing him and Keefe, sort of the older statesman and boys that the 2 guys that the boys really look up to.
Are you the oldest at the club now?
I might be.
You might be the oldest, King. There wouldn't be many older. I mean, is Cogs young? He's born late in the year, isn't he?
Yeah, he'd be a couple of months younger than me. Yeah, I would be the oldest, I think.
Is that scary?
It's not great.
You're still playing well, though, so that's all right. Age is just a number. Derek Henry running the ball 180 yesterday, 31-year-old, no worries.
Yeah, as long as you stay quick and you're motivated and engaged, hopefully got a few more years, but wait and see.
You got plenty more years. Well, just a few more on the end of the year, because I won't ask you these questions again, and I appreciate you talking footy with me because it's the last thing that you want to talk about. But have you had your exit interview personally, and what happens in those? You can't reveal, they're private conversations, but what do you talk about as a skipper with the head coach, or who else is in the room for those out there that don't understand what an exit interview entails?
The GM's in there, head of performance, like physical performance, Kingers, and then our line coaches. I think for different players it's different, but mine was sort of went through my year and what I thought my first 8 weeks were pretty solid, middle 8 weeks were poor, and my last 8 weeks were good, but played shit in the final. So I sort of went through that and some things maybe I could have done in the middle of the year, but and then sort of reasons why I sort of dropped off and then got back going again, and sort of touch onto that. And I thought there was a couple of different reasons. So that was sort of the most of it. But then you talk about how I can be better next year as a club, what I can do to help, where we think we need improvement. So but for younger guys, it's a lot different. It's a lot more probably detailed around your own personal game and different aspects of it, which is still, I had some of those things, but yeah, it's more just as I sort of touched on, and what I can do to make sure I'm at my best for 24 weeks next year and what I need to do.
Was there anything you could share with us that you thought that you walked away and said, yeah, I feel good about doing that differently next year?
Well, I sort of thought that I sort of missed a game round 15 or something, and then got suspended for a game. So I thought that my energy and sort of my defense was at its best the last 8 weeks, because I was really running on top of the ground and felt really I felt my body felt unreal. And I reckon those 2 weeks off helped me, get to that level. And then I thought, but I was really disappointed with my final. That's probably two things, like getting your energy right and focusing on how you can sort of maintain, and maybe things I could do in the start of the year or the middle part of the year to make sure, I'm really humming, or, choosing where to spend your energy a bit wiser during the year and doing things that really matter, and maybe, giving a few up. Like you can't keep burning the candle at both ends. I think you got to know what, especially as you get older, what's going to work for you and what's going to help you play. And maybe I don't have to do everything that I did when I was 22 to get the same result.
Yeah, really well said. I think I know what you're talking about. It's more that deload at the start of the week, not have to, to train as hard and think you need to be at every session. Having a young family. I'd imagine it's also meetings as well. Like you being the skipper, you've got to be involved in a lot of conversations. You probably want to deload yourself on that stuff, wouldn't you, during the week?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't talk about that in there, but there's certainly more load being captain, and it's something I enjoy as well. I like really working with the younger guys, but as I said, our improvement's not really going to come from me or Cogs or Chook or Wit. It's going to come from a large chunk of those 20 to 24-year-olds, and that's what we're banking on, and that's what we need. So I need to help them be the best version of themselves.
Do they talk to you about players that might be wanting a trade, and that way you're obviously trying to keep them? I think Ware's the last one I saw that might want to get a trade back home. Do you talk about that in your meetings, and what's your thoughts on that?
No, not in your individual. They would, but no, I don't. They were already done anyway. They were yesterday. I was today. So they didn't rock up today. And then Keefe was sort of found out this morning, I think. So you don't talk about that, but
but your thoughts on players? I mean, you've dealt with it your whole career. It's just a part of the business. You understand it.
Part of it, and it is what it is. Like, I mean, it would have been hard for Lecker as well this year at times, because Slammer and Bucks, it's going to be tough to kick them out of the team. So, can understand it.
One more for me, but have you watched the game as a team and reviewed it? Has Kingers reviewed it, or do you just not bother and do that next year?
We went through some things today as a team. Yeah, just a little, 15, 20 minutes, and something to sort of have a think about over the next few weeks, I think.
Nice. I really appreciate you opening up, mate, and telling us everything that happens behind the scenes. That's what we do at TFG Tuesdays, presented by Amy and Inglewood Coffee Roasters, our friends at Statmate. Tobes, to close it out with our friends at Inglewood Coffee Roasters, now that you don't have a game of footy, and I say that respectfully, we've picked someone to have a coffee with all year. Is there anyone now that you'd love to have a coffee with, or were you looking forward to having a coffee in a certain state while George is just cooking up a storm at the back? She's saying, wrap it up, train. I need my husband back downstairs. But is there one place you're looking forward to having a coffee now for a break?
I'll go watch our boy Chucky Haley. He'll play in the granny in 2 weeks for Baldwin. So they won on the weekend. Find out who they play this weekend. But I'll go watch him, mate, Saturday week. Something that, I watched him last year actually, and never really get to see anyone play, and friends or family. But it'd be good to see him try and go back to back as skipper.
And who are you having a coffee with while you watch that? Who's someone you'd love to watch that game with?
We might have to get the same crew as last year. It was me, my cousin Ben Pugh, my uncle Joe Hodgie. We might have to get the same crew just for good luck. Charlie's big on superstition, so he might make me do that.
That's great. That's old Chucky, man. Old Chuck boy. I hope you start again. Chuck, all the best this weekend. Great man. He's a highlight reel, Chuck. He'll definitely be lighting it up. He's someone that he's probably like a Jack Ginnivan and Nick Watson type. Just gives you plenty with the celebration and kicks a lot of goals. So looking forward to hearing the news on that and seeing you back in town. Well, Tobes, I think that's all I've really got, mate. We've talked a lot of footy and about the game, and we've already got your tips for this week, but that's pretty much all I've got for you, mate.
Nah, I appreciate it, mate. And it would have been nice to talk about a few more weeks of finals, but I'm sure there'll be some cracking games over the next few weeks, and then switch off and get back into it, mate. Get back into it.
That's it. Well, you'll hang around. I just forgot to ask about the forehead. We clearly know what happened, but the boys been getting stuck into you about that one. That's just smack bang in the middle of your forehead. How many stitches in there, and who got you?
I think it was Finn. I just gave him a handball and flicked his elbow or something. I've got a knife that the doc gave me because I'm going to Port Douglas tomorrow, and I've got to get the stitches out. Well, and I said, Georgia can do it, so we'll see how she goes on the weekend.
Oh, so you're going to take him out yourself?
Yeah, fuck it, mate.
You don't care at all. That's amazing. Well, Tobes, thanks so much for jumping on, and to everyone that's tuned into the TFG Tuesday podcast, we thank you so much for your support. We'll see you next week, Tobes. You're going to hang around, but we're going to have to do it while you're on holidays next week. I hear you're off to Port Douglas, so we'll get you on your phone or your laptop. So anyone out there is wondering why it's a different setting, we're giving you a heads up. Tobes is going to hang with us all the way to the grand final. What a great man he is. But yeah, Tobes, we'll just let him know that you're having a little week off from being in the studio there, so something different, but enjoy that, mate. And again, thanks so much for rocking up this week and breaking it all down.
Easy, mate. All good, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. And Chuck, all the best this weekend. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. Hit subscribe. Big week. Shaq on Sunday night if you want a Tommy Talk special for the basketball fans. And that's about all we've got.
Statmate makes AFL player stats easy. At the click of a button, you can discover insights like you've never seen before. Disposals and goals to fantasy points, how a player performs at a certain venue, or even when a teammate is out through injury, Statmate has you covered. Don't waste your time. Become an expert in just a few taps of a button. AFL player stats and insights thanks to your new best mate. Download Statmate for free today.